Kiss numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth. Hey, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. That's all the 1st and 2nds. Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms and Proverbs, Ecclesiastics, and the Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations. What I'm saying is, I grew up super Baptist. I'm talking the Baptist days of the week. Tuesday, choir rehearsal. Wednesday, Bible study. Thursday, youth council meeting. Youth council president. Saturday, usher practice and Girl Scouts. Sunday, read the announcements, sing, possibly dance, go get something to eat, then come back at 4 o'clock for more church. So naturally, I thought my lack of interest in boys was because I was committed to Jesus. And I was committed to Jesus, y'all. I mean, we had a ceremony and everything. All right, a group of us publicly committed to abstinence until marriage. I wore white, we got rings, it was a whole thing. Now with that much Jesus, no real representation in the media, and a baby boomer mother who was a ski-weeing, pearl-wearing, and clutching member of AKA who matriculated through a HBCU, coming out was hard. And not just to her, but to myself. I mean, I thought that my crushes on women were totally natural. And I thought that I was waiting on this like crush on a man to just knock me off my feet. It was not until I got to college that my attraction to women just became impossible to suppress. I mean, I remember thinking to myself, like, why couldn't I have just been born a boy? This would have made things so much easier. So much easier. And I didn't realize it then, but in that moment, I was coming out to myself about my sexual orientation and my gender identity. I was out to myself, and I decided I'm gonna come out to my sisters. So I came out to my younger sister first. She's always like, hey, you like it, I love it. I came out to my older sister next, who was admittedly less thrilled. But you know, they say that the burden of a judgmental mother is always shared amongst her children. And here I was, asking my sisters to share this burden, to keep this secret, to bear this cross. Together, my sister suggested that I wait till I graduated from college to come out to my mother, lest she stopped footing the bill. And look, despite my best efforts to suppress my inner bull dagger and like fem it up, my sister reported that my mom commented I looked a little dykish when I came home for Christmas break. So needless to say, I waited to come out. One Sunday, now I'm out to my sisters, I'm out to myself. I came home, went to church, and the pastor preached this sermon that included the line, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And I remember thinking, is he on to me? Or am I just paranoid? I brushed past the paranoia because I'm out to the key people in my life now. I'm out to myself, and I decided to take a cocky selfie. I still remember I had on this men's black button-down shirt, these gray pants, this light purple tie, black suspenders. Posted on the internet. Shortly after, my cousin reported, girl, your MySpace page blew up the church. At that time, I was so concerned about people finding out that I was gay. I mean, it's like no matter how holy the water or how anointed the oil, they do not go together. Black church folk, and queer identity, they don't mix. They do not mix. Anyway, another Sunday I came home, and I remember I was walking around offering, and I thought, that's cute, they got a little dyke on the drums. and after church I realized, that dyke on the drums is the pastor's granddaughter. After church, she walked up to me and tried to dap me up, and I'm like, whoa, girl, we in the sanctuary, you cannot do all that. But I told her, hit me up afterwards if you ever need to talk, blah, blah, blah. That same cousin reported back that shortly after that visit home, she comment to her mom that she had seen me in church, and then that same conversation came out. Oh, great. Now they might actually think it's contagious. But as for me coming out to my mother, it wasn't quite the same. I remember the tiniest part of me crossing like my fingers, eyes, toes, that she would hit me with this, just as Christ knew you as you were yet forming in the womb, I've always known. That wasn't quite how it happened. It was late at night. I walked into her room and I said, I have something to tell you. I'm gay. You talking about a pearl clutch. The first thing she said was, does that mean you've been hugging and kissing on girls in Philadelphia? You want to be a man? I just thought you were depressed. Depressed. I'll never forget one Sunday, we were driving to church, and she looked at me in the rearview mirror and said, what's wrong with you? And I was in the 4th grade, maybe 9, and I said, I'm depressed. Well, you need to get over that, because depression is a sin. Everything I was taught growing up said that sin equal hell. Depression equal hell. Gay equal hell. Suicide also equal hell. So I was shocked and hurt when she said, I just thought you were depressed. Then finally she said, if anyone calls, don't answer the phone. I don't want anyone to know you're here. Don't answer the phone. I don't want anyone to know you're here. I don't want anyone to know you're here. At that time, I was 21. I graduated from college. I had no job. So I accepted a position with AmeriCorps. And the very next morning, I flew to one of the holiest cities in the country, New Orleans, Louisiana. And when I tell y'all I had some holy times, I had some holy times. I remember I saw Stevie Wonder perform at Jazz Fest in the rain. I saw a black drag queen perform Donald Lawrence's gospel hit, Speak Over Yourself, at a gay bar. I even lived in a church for a little while. Ask me about it after the show. 10 years later, Jesus is still the only dude I've ever gotten down with, if you know what I mean. And despite the amount of church hurt that I experienced, I'm so grateful that the seed of Christ consciousness was planted in my heart. I'm grateful that my sisters still roast me for my cocky selfies. I'm grateful that without saying a word, my mother and I have agreed to just discuss recipes and the bougiest snacks from Trader Joe's. Most of all though, I'm grateful that I know now that I've never really been coming out. I've only ever really been coming home to myself. You know, learning to be at peace with myself. Now, please do not get me wrong. Some days are much, much harder than others. But as is the tradition in my faith, I baptize myself with some of those affirmations and I tell myself it's gonna be okay. And sometimes I lean on them old songs and I just say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. No, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.